this one.
Gregory, do you see that small vent on the floor? Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent. I know it will be hard for you to be sus, but I know you can do it, Gregory. I will just say we were both in security watching the cameras. It is partly true. Lamau GGS easy. Gregory, do you see that small vent on the floor? Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent. I know it will be hard for you to be sus, but I know you can do it, Gregory. I will just say we were both in security watching the cameras. It is partly true. Gregory, do you see the small vent on the floor? Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent. I know it will be hard enough for you to be sus, but I know you can do it, Gregory. Cringe. Gregory, do you see the small vent on the floor? Gregory.
Freddy Fazbear asking the main character of the latest Five Nights at Freddy's game if he knows about Among Us is a line of dialogue that masterfully interweaves two online cultural behemoths. On one hand, we already have the influence of the absolute giant that constitutes Five Nights at Freddy's, but of course mixing it with references to Among Us, one of the most popular games from the past couple of years, means it has every bit of potential to go stratospheric. Both games are perceived in that special, this is ironic but I'm also extremely fond of it way that can only be achieved after years of being in the spotlight for better or for worse. At any rate, the original meme was created by Twitter user Chocokoyo on the 19th of December 2021. A single day later, Silver Springing would dub over it in a manner similar to what one might find on a Rick and Morty improvisational TV episode, in which he's laughing at the ridiculousness of his own line delivery.
Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent.
This style also serves in to reel in the audience, as if we were right there with him, completely along for the ride and laughing at the stupidity of it all. It's worth noting the voice meme genre is exploding right now, as it has done so for the past couple of years. With more access to editing tools than ever, people are able to go further than simply posting an image paired with text. One can also enhance impact by recording a voiceover that sounds more or less like the original character it reflects. This single clip of Silver Springing's voiceover became so huge that even the actual voice actor of Freddy Fazbear, Kellen Goff, posted his own version, cementing the meme as something of an officially recognized piece of art. It's fascinating to see Among Us and Five Nights at Freddy's content remain culturally relevant years after both respective games released. Although, of course, with Security Breach only coming out a little
Fly me to the moon, Jiu-Jitsu class. In other words, fuck the moon. Wow, this blew up. Wish the moon would.
Do you see the small vent on the floor?
How did I
Have you
not
ever
see?
heard of Among Us, Gregory?
How did I not see
You
that?
need to
How?
vent.
How did I not see that was so clearly there? How I walked past it so many times. What is happening? I am losing my mind! I'm losing my mind!
Among Us.
Gregory, do you see that small vent on the floor? Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent. I know it will be hard for you to be sus, but I know you can do it, Gregory. I will just say we were both in security watching the cameras. It is partly true.
Deja vu. I just been in this place before. Lying on the street and both went to you. And the search is a mystery.
Technoblade is canonically a child on the Dream SMP. In fact, around 3 years old. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing to say, right? Well, last night Technoblade went onto his Discord server and talked to a bunch of members in there, and in it he spoke about how the festival was a bit of a scam because everybody's blamed him and called him a traitor, even though there was a lot of things up with it. But there was also a talk where he says that he's canonically 3 years old in the story, which is something kind of interesting, I
Gregory, do you see the small vent on the floor? Have you ever heard of Among Us, Gregory? You need to vent. I know it will be hard.